Hi there, it's Jill Chabot here, wildlife artist, Celtic wildlife artist, and today is Friday, it's 10 o'clock UK time, which means it must be weekly wildlife wisdom. Woohoo! So, sorry, excuse me, I'm sniffing a little bit this morning. I think it's a little bit of hay fever or something, or dust. But yes, today we are going to be exploring the wonderful, magical wisdom of the dragonflies. And as always, I was having a little bit of research around these beautiful beings. And I was amazed when I started to look globally just how many different kinds of dragonflies there are all around the world, different colours, different shapes, sizes, but all this magical energy. And of course, where you live, if the colours are of certain variety where you are, and you keep seeing one or another, pay attention to the colour as well, because that will also give you extra wisdom about which particular energy centre the particular dragonfly is bringing to you and offering to you for consideration. So I always add that in when there are colour variants to be very aware. And I've been very lucky. My husband David and I wander up and down for our walks every day here in our beautiful little, it's not even a village, it's more like a little hamlet in beautiful South Derbyshire in England. And for the last week or so, as the weather's warmed up, we've been able to watch these beautiful dragonflies. And the two colours that we tend to see here are the beautiful turquoise and green. I think they're emperor dragonflies. And then there's also a red, darker red colour, beautiful beings. And then we have damselflies and a few others as well, but they're the main ones that we see. And I had to smile yesterday morning. I went out for my walk and it was just so beautiful. I was by myself because David was working. And I just started to connect as I always do, and I thought, I wonder if the dragonflies are around. And lo and behold, within about 5 seconds of me asking for that, this beautiful big turquoise dragonfly came right up to me and stood hovering. They're just like amazing, aren't they? They can up, down, even backwards, they can fly at speeds of up to I think it's like 35 miles an hour. I wrote it down, 45 miles an hour. I mean, it's just incredible. And you can imagine if you're on their hunt list, you're going to be pretty terrified to be hunted by these amazingly agile beings. So I was thrilled, but in the backdrop of this beautiful dragonfly that was looking right at me, I think he was seeing my glasses reflect, but also I was calling him in. There was a young adolescent hare running towards me. So of course I stopped very still anyway, which I always do, and softened my gaze and my body language. And this dragonfly stayed with me. He was sort of darting around, but he kept coming back. And the hare was just lolloping towards me. I don't think they'd seen me. And then they veered off up the driveway of the manor house that's just up the lane here. And I just was completely blown away by that. It was so beautiful. And for me, when you see the double sign like that, which doesn't happen very often, let's be honest, I can only think of it on a couple of occasions. Take the wisdom from both animals. And likewise, if you're not seeing them physically, because I know a lot of us aren't near to nature in the way that I'm so lucky to be. If you're seeing them popping up, if there's one or two, look at both, because for dragonfly, which we're going to move on to in a second, so if there's one or two, look at both, because for dragonfly, which we're going to move on to in a second, so dragonfly is really all about transformation from within, healing from within, magnificent ability to adapt and be flexible and to move swiftly when required, and this almost mythical, magical, transformative force of nature. So you've got that on the one hand, which we'll dive into in a moment more. And then with the hair behind, the young hair, the hair energy in essence. Oh, there's a huge buzzard. Is it buzzard? Oh no, it's a red kite. Oh my goodness, flying right over the top. Quite rare to see the red kite here. Beautiful. Just swooped over the top, followed by lots of, oh, he's come back. What a beautiful sign and blessing. My goodness, some jackdaws buzzing the kite because they're obviously protecting their youngsters. So red kite, my goodness, focus and the bigger picture. So wonderful sign to add into this. The hair, going back to the hair, how amazing. Hoping he or she might come back again. Wow. The hair is all about creativity, fertility, abundance of prosperity. So those two combined with the addition now of that beautiful red kite just takes my breath away, gives me goosebumps and shows me my beliefs. I'm very connected to the Celtic way of life, the old traditions of being in tune with nature, being with nature, a part of nature, is that we are never alone. We are supported and loved by all beings around us. And all beings are a part of us, and we are a part of all beings. And our ancestors are here with us. The animals and nature, the trees, are our ancestors in spirit, giving us support and guidance and help. We have to connect in, we have to ask for that help. So that was a beautiful affirmation yesterday. I went out with David this morning for our walk, and there was that beautiful turquoise dragonfly again. So yes, that's there. It seems to be one of their favourite hunting grounds there. But nevertheless, for them to come out and feel safe to be so close to us is, always that, for me, validation that connecting with nature is real. It's not something that we make up. I know when we're young, we often can get told by adults that, don't be silly, animals don't have intelligence like humans. Some even believe animals don't have souls. And I strongly disagree with that and feel that each animal is unique, each species is unique, and they have so much to teach us about how we can come back to equilibrium and balance in our life. And if we humans could do that all around the world, we would literally stop all of the things that are destroying this beauty of life on this planet. So get off my soapbox, straighten my t-shirt up, which I always do the wrong way around because the camera is opposite, with Badger here today. Lovely geometric design of the badger, the European badger, on my t-shirt, who I love dearly, and I'm holding lots of protection for right now. Here in the UK. So let's dive into Dragonfly, because I know that's why you're here today. So a couple of things to mention. The first thing is that last Sunday there was a big full moon, and the astrological guidance around that, which I'm not an expert, in a nutshell, was all about committing to something that we feel completely passionate about. So really committing, not half-heartedly, not, well, I'll do it later, or maybe I'll, when this has happened, then but actually making a commitment. Fab, it's Helen. Hi, Helen. Now, you see, I know quite a few Helens. So could you give me a clue which Helen it is? It's very lovely to have you here. And whichever Helen it is, I think, how many Helens do I know? About 4, I think. So if you can let me know, that'd be fab. But welcome. So yeah, so this full moon was all about making 100% commitment to something that you really know at your heart of hearts you're passionate about. So I thought that was fascinating. But then I found out this weekend Ah, Helen, hello. Yes, Yorkshire Travels, Helen. Oh, that's lovely to have you here. Welcome, welcome. I've got, lucky to have a few lovely Helens that are in my life. Oh, on a different laptop. Gotcha. So, yeah, so that was the first thing. And then this weekend, I've just learned from a wonderful astrologist that I follow, and she sends out amazing updates, called Astro Butterfly. Really recommend if you're interested in learning more. She's on Facebook and on Instagram, I think. Astro Butterfly, all one word. Amazing. She gives so much really helpful information. She's saying that this week, Chiron, which is an outer planet in the universe, goes retrograde. And I'm not going to go into all the detail because you don't need to really understand it. But the message is this is a weekend where we can get a lot of help and support if we are willing and we make that space and we make that connection to help us to release a lot of old wounds that are maybe even deeply unconscious. The moon is connected strongly with Venus, and they are really helping that to be powerful for us. So I really thought, again, Dragonfly came forward, said, yes, it's me. I read about all of the Celtic wisdom that I could find. I also tuned into their beautiful energy, and it all links to this releasing of wounds that no longer serve us and getting the support that we need. So it's really, really, again, magical to me that these things all come together at the same time. So perhaps if you want to give yourself permission this weekend to, just ponder those things and allow them to sit lightly in your mind. I often will just think about it before I go to sleep and ask my unconscious to help me. And I'll sometimes get dreams that, although cryptic, when you look at them and figure them out, they help and they guide you towards memories, letting go, processing stuck emotions. And it's really, really transformational. And that's what Dragonfly is all about. So Dragonfly says the key is to transforming within ourselves. So external things can be helpful. External things can be helpful and can be useful, but ultimately the key to our return to full balance and wholeness within ourselves lies within ourselves. The way that we are, the way that we perceive the world, the way we see the world is how we believe it is. And some of that may be slightly off, some of it might be completely wrong. And it affects everything that we manifest into our lives. Because if we believe something so strongly, we will be attracting things, evidence, if you like, that helps us to build that belief. I am right. I am right. And if we discover with a bit of gentle nudging and willingness to open up, actually, maybe that's not the way things are, we then start to gather different evidence that helps us to open new doorways and new pathways to balance, to getting balance. So it's something that is very subtle and comes from creating greater peace and mindfulness in our life. If we're rushing around and we're hyper-stimulated by everything and everybody around us, getting caught up in drama and reacting without putting a gap between what we experience or we perceive and our response to it, we can't really get into that open space of awareness and readiness and willingness to say, help me to move beyond whatever difficulties, challenges that we are finding show up in our life, especially if they're repetitive patterns. Might be different people and places, but if there's a common theme, that's normally a showing of our imbalance. And by praying, asking for help, whatever's right for you, for support and guidance. You don't need to know how to fix it. You just need to become aware of it, whatever it is. Oh, I noticed that in my life these things keep happening, and then ask for support and guidance to guide you to the way forward. So Dragonfly says we can transform only when we're willing to take true responsibility. Doesn't mean critically, it means lovingly and compassionately to ourselves for our thoughts, our behaviours, our actions. And then to reach out by doing some research for support that we may need, but also for me, really, most powerfully is that connection with source, with God, with our ancestors, however you choose to believe that connection with a powerful force for good in your life that will help you to make those connections and bring to light things that perhaps have been locked within you and you can't actually remember on a conscious level. Now, dragonflies are masters of transformation. They go through the most incredible transformation. Most of their life, they're underwater. So the parent female lays the eggs into the water. The eggs gradually hatch, and then they are in their first phase where they will eat and grow and grow. And then finally, they emerge from the water and they transform a little like butterflies, come out of their original self, re-emerge as this magnificent flying being. You can see where the inspiration came for drones when you look at the magnificence. I mean, obviously, these dragonflies are much more incredible, and drones are pretty incredible. And so they transform, and it is only when you are willing to truly let go of the old and release those stuck energies or fears, emotions, that you can transform and become the same soul, the same being, the same core, and yet free of the restraints, free of the mistaken beliefs, the incomplete beliefs, the unfriendliness that can sometimes be within us, and critical voice, etc. So let's think a bit more about dragonflies, because apparently I love researching what we know, what we think we know. Sometimes is, again, incomplete or might be wrong, but scientists believe that dragonflies can see over 30 different types of colour, whereas us humans, we can only see 3, obviously through various prisms that we get the range of colours. So this sight is again a key part of who the dragonfly is. Obviously, they can fly high, low, fast, slow, backwards, forwards, any angle, and they can see at much greater depth. And this inner seeing is really, really important. So we can ask for help to see things from connecting with dragonfly. Again, if you can in the physical, that's wonderful and it's such a joy. But if not, you can simply look up pictures, read about them, connect with them through your intention, through your thought of them and your love and respect for them. Build that relationship, be respectful, be consistent, and ask them for their help and guidance. And they're incredibly powerful. They teach us to live our life to the full. You know, this is not about being reckless or silly. It's about our mature self saying life is fleeting. You know, if we love something and we're truly passionate about it, do our research, be a mature adult, care for ourselves, make sure we've, looked at the ins and outs, but act on it and bring it into your life. Because surely, if that's what we're most passionate about, that is what we will thrive in giving service of. So they really sort of say, don't put things off, when, then, all these things that we can do, once I've retired, then, or whatever it is, but do what you can to bring what's most important into your life. And they teach us that change is ever constant. We are never stagnant. We might try and convince ourselves that we are, but everything, literally everything around us, including every aspect of us, is changing constantly. And that is life. That is life, and life comes towards its culmination, and then death becomes the next phase of that cycle, and then life comes forth from that death, and on it goes. And it's really important that we learn as best as we can in our human bodies, that change is okay. Change can be fantastic and can be our friend, but we have to learn from within ourselves to adapt and change to it. Understanding and maturity within ourselves. So I think that's probably enough for today. I think if you can ponder that and just let that sort of sit in the back of your beautiful, powerful consciousness, and I'd love to hear how that resonates with you. Oh, hello, Susie. She's saying weak signal this morning. Oh, bless you. Well, the recording, the replay will be up really soon, so you can tune in when your signal's a bit stronger and catch up on anything that you missed, Susie. But it's lovely to have you here as always. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for those of you here live. It's always lovely. And thank you to everybody that's watching and tuning in on the replays. If you know of anyone else that you think might enjoy these, I'd love for you to share the details of how they can follow me here on YouTube and or on Instagram, because the more people that reconnect and make these beautiful connections to nature, the better. So all being well, I'll be back next week. Don't know what date that is. It must be like the 2nd of August or something like that. Don't know who it will be yet, but as always, they will let themselves be known. So lots of love to each and every one of you. Take good care of yourselves. Oh, Susie's saying, I love dragonflies. Thank you. The blue ones live with us. Yeah, aren't they glorious? They're all amazing. If you get a chance, have a little look online. See all the different colours and different shapes and sizes they are. Truly amazing. So allow dragonfly magic, energy and wisdom into your life. If you can this weekend, take some time and just allow that beautiful message from the dragonflies to permeate and help you to heal. So lots of love. Take care to you all and see you again very soon. Bye for now. Bye.